Hello, it's good to be able to do another video and to share a few thoughts. It has now been 15 days since I moved into temporary manse, and I now have everything almost sorted for now until I move. I was looking through some cards that people gave me, and it's nice to be able to look through cards that said farewell in Alham and Crieff and Menstrie, and cards that welcome to Bells Hill and welcome to St Andrew's Church in particular. And I was looking through some of the cards, some of them said good luck on them. And it's a very nice message in some ways, but is it actually a message that we want to hear? Is it a message that's good? Is it a message that's full of luck? Is luck something that actually exists? We talk about people being down on their luck, but what do we mean by luck? Is indeed something that we want to encourage people, that's why people send cards. But are we actually decrying God's purposes? After all, nothing happens by chance. And as people say, everything happens for a reason. What's for you won't go by you, is what people often say. But what do we really mean from this, from the scriptures? Well, in many ways, talking about luck is actually putting down God. If we look at the Shorter Catechism, that question 11 says, what is God's work of providence? God's work with providence is most holy, wise and powerful preserving of all creatures and all their actions. Nothing happens by chance, nothing happens by luck. Everything that happens in life has been done for a plan, for a purpose, and ultimately for God's glory. Things that we don't tend to think are the case, and even things that are bad, they are all happening in our lives that we might be able to show God's glory in them. If we look at the scriptures, in Romans 8 verse 28, we read, we know that all things happen to us, and it's working for our good if we love God and are fitting into his plans. All things that happen to us are working for our good if we love God, and these things are fitting into his plans. As we come here and we think about a new ministry, a new start, it wasn't by luck that I was here, it wasn't because I decided to come here, but because it really was God's plan, it was God's calling, and it was God's plan that sometimes his folk would have me here. And indeed, as we think about luck, as we think about what we really mean, we want to know God's purposes, we want to know God's providences, and we want to walk in God's ways. Sometimes it's a very easy thing to say, good luck, but really we are decrying God's providence if we do say so. And you may ask me, what do we say instead? Well, we can say that we wish somebody God's blessings in a new start, that we understand that God is sovereign, and would walk in his ways. We ask the Holy Spirit would be with them. Again, you may say it's just semantics or it's just language. But to understand that God has put us in a certain place at a certain time makes us understand it is more than just luck. A challenging thought if we think perhaps about the bad things that happen in our lives and the bad things that happen. To think that just happens by plan or design. But ultimately, even the bad things in our lives, we can use the experiences, we can use our scars to be able to show people how God has blessed us. Some things to think about as we go forward. To say good luck is a nice thought, but ultimately it is decrying God's providences. May God bless you all.